Hello and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Tuesday, July 16th, 2013. The beat goes on. Please find a seat on the Liberty bus and we will begin our tour of the day. I wanted to mention Marilu Henner. Alex Jones had her as a guest today and she kind of hit the ball out of the park, but you know, it's for women. It's nice to become aware of women who are active in the liberty movement. I find it inspiring and encouraging, and her emphasis seems to be food, and especially food for children. So you know, we all kind of have our issues that are nearest and dearest to our hearts, and that seems to be hers. But she does have a radio program on Genesis Network. I have not listened to it. I'm not sure if I will. Alex is about 3 hours of radio is about as much as I can take in one day. Talk radio, and I don't even any commercial radio. But I'm sure there are some good resources here, and as I said, it's just encouraging to know that there are women out there fighting the good fight. A couple days ago, David Wilcock published a newsletter, Divine Cosmos, and these are, I think they come out approximately once a month, so it's always significant when it comes out. Now this is very long. It's very encouraging. Financial tyranny collapsing at free fall speed, and he covers a lot of topics here. I honestly, I toyed with the idea of making the whole video about this blog this morning and just scrolling down. But instead, I decided to pick out a portion of it and just talk a little bit about Michael Hastings and the remote controlled vehicles. A few years ago, maybe several years ago, I remember reading about semi-trucks, that the tractor of the truck had a box on top, and trucks that were carrying dangerous substances through this box could be remotely deactivated and stopped. The idea being that hazardous substances, military bombs, munitions, whatever, would not be able to be easily stolen. And I thought that was great. What a great idea. Oh, because you know, I believed in 9/11 then. I believed that it was real terrorists. And so wow, that really solves the problem of blowing a truck up somewhere, right? Well, come to find out, remote controlled automobiles legally required in the US since 2008. I've mentioned this before, even in light of the Michael Hastings thing. If you have an old car, I think there's value, there's merit in keeping it running. It's something that's pre-2008. I'm sure there's a way to disable these systems, but it's probably very complex, probably very expensive, and probably virtually impossible to find someone who would do it for you. So your car can be remotely stopped, steered, braked, and David Wilcock goes into some detail here in writing about this, and I just, it's important. It is important. What all can OnStar do? And could these motors be strong enough to force your steering wheel to move in ways you cannot control? Can a mechanical motor be stronger than your arms? Well, you know, I think the implied answer is yes. And it does seem very obvious that Michael Hastings was killed. And Alex Jones is sending a team to California to investigate. What was it that he was going after? There are different ideas, and David Wilcock offers some, and as you can see here as I'm scrolling, how little of this blog I've scrolled through and how very long it is. So there's a lot here. And some people who watch this video might not be all that warm about David Wilcock's belief in aliens, and you know, some of the things that I don't live my life waiting to see aliens, but I'm open to the possibility. And I think we really need to be. I think we need to constantly think on our feet, and when we are presented with facts that we know are facts, or that we are reasonably certain are facts, then we respond. But until we have all the facts, I think it's very difficult to be correct in our worldview. And I'm not departing from Scripture at all. I'm just, you know, sometimes the context for reality is a lot bigger than our frame of reference. So, you know, I think we all should probably be prepared to be expanded. Was Michael Hastings' car hacked? Richard Clark says it's possible. Just a little affirmation about that. And if we let this go, you know, it's yesterday's news. Yes, sure. Is the Zimmerman trial and all the brouhaha meant to be a cover, a diversion, distraction from some of these issues? I would not be surprised at all. And yesterday people were talking about, and I even mentioned the U.S. Department of Education Ministry of Propaganda. Well, yesterday, propaganda ban repealed as government made news floods the U.S. And as this is an older article, and this has been going on for a long time. Alex Jones said yesterday, and I have not taken the time to find something to back this up, but he stated yesterday that $8 billion was spent at the time of No Child Left Behind to sell that to people. So this government propaganda has been going on for a very long time. And Hitler said, by the skillful and sustained use of propaganda, one can make a people see even heaven as hell, or an extremely wretched life as paradise. Well, he knew, didn't he? So one thing that I just, you know, want to bring to light in considering this propaganda issue, and we all know this, but propaganda in our culture is not just what is said, or, you know, what is presented as news or written as news. Propaganda is, the range is in film, the range is in, certainly in TV shows, the range is in fake Twitter accounts and fake bloggers, fake commenters, you know, what we call trolls, sock puppets. Some of these aren't even people. Some of them are just mechanized, and it costs these people virtually nothing. Although, of course, the $8 billion, they spend money on it because they can, right? But I also want to just pull in, you know, the theater of life, and they have actually staged events. 9/11, probably the Boston bombing, to some extent. And when you consider it this way, Fast and Furious was actually the theater of life. It was live theater that was meant as propaganda, and it probably is still going on. So, you know, when you watch the old X-Files and Fox Mulder says question everything, it's not a joke. I mean, we really, there's very little that we can take for granted except the love of God. We don't even take that for granted. We accept that gratefully. But as far as what is real and what is true, We must continually ask questions, look at things under a microscope, not accept the easy answer, certainly not accept the package. If a package is too neatly wrapped, and it solves everything, then, like an hour-long TV drama, ties in all the loose ends. Now, some of the better ones are starting to let some loose ends dangle because they're getting it moving more toward, real life. And that's sometimes we get bored when we can predict what's going to happen next. But interestingly enough, I just want to mention that David Wilcock gets into how dramas are programmed so that you can tell at what moment the hero is going to be challenged. And he doesn't actually put it in a bad light. He says that we're wired that way. But knowing that we're wired that way, the government propaganda presents things in a way that our wiring is more likely to accept. So, stay light on your feet, stay easy to adapt, stay, willing to consider possibilities. And for our good news today, HPV vaccine exposed as Japan health authorities withdraw recommendation to vaccinate. And I heard someone say about this that Japan stopped recommending that infants under the age of 2 have a series of vaccines some time ago. So no wonder the cabal went after Japan with Fukushima, right? They have some good things going. In fact, at the time of Fukushima, I learned this actually from somewhere else and just put it together. There was a hospital near where the greatest devastation was from the Fukushima tidal wave, tsunami, and the hospital was doing the largest medical experiment to date based on the work of, I think it was Gerson, some alternative cancer therapy. So, these guys killed more than one bird with the same stone. They were able to put a screeching halt to the experiments. Because, if you ever bring up Gerson to anybody, they want to see an objective study. Well, it's virtually impossible to come by in this country because of the structure of the medical system. But, again, the good news, vaccines, Japan gets it. How cool is that? We should be able to wake up to, and this is something good to point to if people argue with you about Gardasil. Thank you for participating with us in today's tour. The Daily Tour is a presentation of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions. Hey, what's that over on the horizon? I think the dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.